In 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verses 9 through 12, the Apostle Paul warns that a failure to love the truth, specifically the gospel, results in a severe God-allowed delusion, which is also spoken about in Revelation, that leads to condemnation. This passage highlights that those who perish do so because they refuse to embrace the truth, choosing instead to find pleasure in unrighteousness and deception. The root cause is the lack of love for the truth, the rejection of truth. This danger isn't just because individuals are ignorant, but it's a deliberate refusal to love and accept the truth of God and to read His Word. Evildoers will delight in unrighteousness in the end times. Those who are deceived will prefer to do wicked things. They will prefer to do evil and rest on falsehood, because conviction that comes with the truth won't hurt anymore. They will ignore it. Then there's the downward spiral of rejecting truth, which makes individuals more vulnerable to deception, which turns into a deeper and more harmful deception, darker paths and more evil. The consequence of ignoring the truth, ignoring redirection, ignoring the love of others, is a strong delusion. Paul warns that God will allow strong delusion, or a powerful delusion, to fall upon those who reject the truth, causing them to believe a specific lie. Then there's condemnation, the result of not believing the truth and having pleasure in unrighteousness. In this, many will be condemned. But we know there's a solution. We must stand firm in the truth. We must love the truth. Hold fast to the traditions that we've been taught. And we're not talking about holidays and seasons. We're talking about the truth. We're talking about testing all things and hold fast to what is good. We're speaking about the gospel. When we're speaking about Revelation and the man of lawlessness, we see the warnings all around us. We see the man of lawlessness marching into the spiritual realm, into people's hearts all around the world, because the working of Satan is already performing signs and lying wonders, 2 Thessalonians 2:9. But we must keep our eyes open. We must stay vigilant. We must be awake during these times, and we must be sober-minded, sober in our thinking, having the common sense of God, being vigilant and discerning, and guarding against being deceived by those who are living unrighteously. Paul warns that the truth is not just an intellectual concept, but a life-saving reality. Read 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. Let us not fall into temptation. If we look to Revelation chapter 12, verse 9, the verse describes the casting out of Satan from heaven to earth, marking his defeat, calling him a great dragon or the ancient serpent who deceives the whole world, along with his angels, losing his access to heaven. Matthew 18, verse 3 says, Jesus said, "Truly I tell you, unless you change and become like little children, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven." Verse 4 says, "Therefore, whoever takes the lowly position of this child is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven." Mark 10, verse 15 says, "Truly I tell you, anyone who will not receive the kingdom of God like a little child will never enter into it." We must depend on God and trust His word, and be humble, rejecting pride and arrogance, which creates the perilous times in the last days. 2 Timothy chapter 3, verses 1 through 5. The wonder and openness of a child means that we're teachable, we're capable of astonishment at God's work, rather than having a closed, cynical mind. But we have to remember that we're not to be immature, throwing temper tantrums, or having the lack of understanding. The goal is maturity, trusting, humbly having faith in God, and relying on Him for our needs.